Hello. Thanks for calling Reasonable Doubt.
Yeah, I was just wondering, can y'all talk about what court costs and fines are used for? Because if there's 80,000 misdemeanors filed a year, and say there's an average of $300 in court costs per case, I know some of those are dismissed, some of those are found not guilty and don't pay court costs, but that's $24 million, period, just in court costs. And if you're on probation or if you're on the pretrial supervision, you're going to be paying for that privilege and a supervisory fee, not even counting court costs.
Yeah.
So I don't even know. Where does that money go? Does it go to some of what y'all are talking about, or what?
Well, that's a great question. Look, they had that whole big breakdown where they had the spreadsheet of how much everything costs and what everything is coming to. But I think the fundamental flaw in some of this is when they're factoring it in, now we've got all Class A and Class B marijuana cases that are gone. So that's what I guess that goes to my point is, when you shift this whole thing around, it's good to talk about, well, we're going to save X amount of money on the jails. But when you get into the practice, I feel like they're not accounting for losing some of this stuff through the pretrial intervention, the second chance program, some of these other diversion programs. Because as the caller pointed out, that's revenue.
Correct.
That's money coming in that could be used to fund this stuff.
I think it goes back to what you said earlier, that a lot of it, or what you touched on earlier, a lot of this change and reform is going to have to be with the district attorney's office. They're going to have to put, District Attorney Ogg is going to have to put her money where her mouth is, and if she's serious about reform, she's going to have to stop taking these criminal trespasses, these driving while license invalids, these bogus arrest first, ask questions later charges, which are all the charges, the trespasses, driving while license invalids, the little mischiefs, the small thefts, where those are the guys that are copping to pleas right away. Those are the ones that are copping to pleas.
That goes to a discretion issue too,
right.
which I want to come back to that in a minute, but we got another caller that I want to get in here. So let's get on the phones. Hello, thanks for calling Reasonable Doubt.
A couple of, I'd like to get an opinion on a couple of things. I think right now the tab for the defense attorneys is approaching or exceeding $3 million.
Right.
So when the case is finally settled, won't Sussman and Godfrey have a fee of their own, reasonable and customary fees for the defense, for the prevailing in the case? And won't that be another amount? And why hasn't this been spoken about? If in fact this is true, you've got a $6 million hickey, and it's all the result, in my opinion, of the pride of those people, the commissioners and the judges, that just say, hey, take a break, take your breath. We've done wrong. We just can't keep going on this way, down this road. Let's just make it. And there's a multiplier effect in all of this too. I mean, the lives that are disturbed and unfulfilled, and the burden that it creates on the least of these is, far exceeds what we see in this whole presentation of this is the issue or that is the issue. No, that's the tip of the iceberg. This is crumbling society. And the other thing that I've got is from another point, from a fiscal point of view, the bondsmen, I believe,
I was just about to say that.
Provide a tax. Get me on the panel over here.
Yeah. We got a seat for you. We got a seat for you right here beside me.
Okay, excellent. The bondsmen provide.
You hit it on the head.
Ellis indigent thing that he did 15 years ago. They provide the money for the public defenders. So how are you going to get the money if you do away with bond? I mean, this has got to be, I think this has got to be well thought out. And you got to get away from the sound bites, and you got to sit people in a room with authority and don't let them out.